Sean Combs' mother Janice Combs says she is devastated by the narrative created out of lies about her son, likening the fervor surrounding the Bad Boy Entertainment founder to a public lynching barrage of civil lawsuits last fall and his arrest on sex trafficking and racketeering charges. CNN. Janice Combs is defending her superstar son, Sean Diddy Combs. The musician and producer is currently in federal custody as he awaits trial for his indictment in the Southern District of New York on counts of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty. Combs is also facing multiple civil lawsuits accusing him of a range of sexual misconduct and other illegal activity. Janice Combs released a statement on Sunday through her attorney, which was shared on social media. I come to you today as a mother that is devastated and profoundly saddened by the allegations made against my son, Sean Combs, her statement began. It is heartbreaking to see my son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies, she wrote. To bear witness what seems like a public lynching of my son before he's had the opportunity to prove his innocence is a pain too unbearable to put into words. The case has put a spotlight on the music mogul's alleged lifestyle away from public view. In their indictment, federal prosecutors cited alleged freak-offs, Sean Combs, named for elaborate performances in which he is accused of drugging and coercing victims into performing extended acts with male sex workers, beginning around 2009. Janice Combs also addressed a surveillance video obtained by CNN that showed Sean Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura, in 2016 in a Los Angeles hotel. My son may not have been entirely truthful about certain things, such as denying he has ever gotten violent with an ex-girlfriend when the hotel surveillance showed otherwise, she wrote in her statement. Sometimes, the truth and a lie become so closely intertwined that it becomes terrifying to admit one part of the story, especially when that truth is outside the norm or is too complicated to be believed. Sean Combs initially denied allegations of abusing Ventura, which were included in a lawsuit she filed before the video was made public. Following the release of the video, he apologized. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I got into going to therapy, going to rehab, Combs said in a video shared on social media days after the video was broadcast. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry. His mother wrote that she believes her son's civil legal team opted to settle the ex-girlfriend's lawsuit instead of contesting it until the end, resulting in a ricochet effect as the federal government used this decision against my son by interpreting it as an admission of guilt. It is important to recognize that none of us, regardless of our status, are immune to fear or mistakes, she wrote. Not being entirely straightforward about one issue does not mean my son is guilty of the repulsive allegations and the grave charges leveled against him. Last week, Houston-based attorney Tony Busby, along with the Ava Law Group, announced they had been retained by at least 120 additional men and women to pursue cases in civil court against Combs. CNN has reached out to attorneys for Combs for comment about his mother's statement. Diddy's mom reacts to rapper's sex trafficking arrest, devastated and profoundly saddened by the allegations. Sean Diddy Combs' mother, Janice Combs, broke her silence after her son's arrest for sex trafficking and racketeering. In a statement shared Sunday by her lawyer, Natalie G. Figures, Janice said that the 54-year-old rapper is innocent of the sexual abuse allegations and is not a monster. I come to you today as a mother that is devastated and profoundly saddened by the allegations made against my son, Sean Combs. It is heartbreaking to see my son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies, Janice said. My son is not the monster they have painted him to be, and he deserves the chance to tell his side. I can only pray that I am alive to see him speak his truth and be vindicated, she continued. Janice explained that Diddy, who has been denied bail twice since his September 16 arrest as he remains behind bars in Brooklyn, isn't perfect, and noted that he's made mistakes in his past. My son may not have been entirely truthful about certain things, such as denying he has ever gotten violent with an ex-girlfriend when the hotel's surveillance showed otherwise, she went on, referring to the 2016 footage published earlier this year showing Diddy physically assaulting then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hotel. Janice's statement continued, sometimes, the truth and a lie become so closely intertwined that it becomes terrifying to admit one part of the story, especially when that truth is outside the norm or is too complicated to be believed. This is why I believe my son's civil legal team opted to settle the ex-girlfriend's lawsuit instead of contesting it until the end, resulting in a ricochet effect as the federal government used this decision against my son by interpreting it as an admission of guilt. Not being entirely straightforward about one issue does not mean my son is guilty of the repulsive allegations and the grave charges leveled against him, Janice continued. Many individuals who were wrongfully convicted and later exonerated had their freedom taken from them not because they were guilty of the crimes they were accused of, but because they didn't fit the image of what this society considers to be a good person. History has showed us how individuals can be wrongfully convicted due to their past actions or mistakes. It is truly agonizing to watch the world turn against my son so quickly and easily over lies and misconceptions, without ever hearing his side or affording him the opportunity to present his side, she added. Janice blasted Diddy's accusers for being motivated by financial gain and not justice. She also blamed the federal government for using these lies to prosecute my son. This injustice has been unbearable for our family, Janice went on. The worst part of this ordeal is watching my beloved son be stripped of his dignity, not for what he did, but for what people choose to believe about him. Diddy is being charged with sex trafficking, racketeering and transportation to engage in prostitution. In a bombshell indictment unsealed last month, prosecutors claimed that the famous music producer carried out a decades-long pattern of physical and sexual violence against multiple victims. Diddy allegedly orchestrated elaborate, drug-laced, freak-off, sex sessions, which sometimes lasted for days, where he forced women into sex acts with male prostitutes while he masturbated and secretly filmed, prosecutors alleged. The "coming home" rapper has also been accused of sexually assaulting more than 100 people, including a 9-year-old. Diddy has pleaded not guilty on all counts. His next court appearance is scheduled for Wednesday.
As you leave the page, don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.